You ever notice how the world is just one giant talent show for nonsense? Everybody's got something stupid to show off, and somehow we all clap for it. It's like the whole planet turned into one big open mic night for idiots, and nobody had the guts to pull the plug. You walk down the street and you can feel it. The air's thick with confidence, but completely empty of logic. People don't know what they're talking about, but boy, do they love the sound of their own opinions. We used to have wisdom. Now we have why. And people think those are the same thing. Oh, read an article. Yeah? I read a cereal box. Doesn't mean I'm a nutritionist. You ever hear someone talk about doing their own research? That's code for I watched a video that agrees with me. That's not research. That's shopping for validation. Everyone's proud of nonsense now. They wear it like a badge. I don't believe in experts. Well, good. The experts don't believe in you either. We used to admire smart people. Now we treat them like party pooper. We got folks saying, "Don't tell me facts, tell me how you feel." Oh, great. Let's run a civilization on feelings. What could possibly go wrong? You ever notice people confuse being informed with being online? They think scrolling through half a headline makes them a philosopher. You ask them where they learned something. "Oh, I saw a post." That's not learning. That's absorbing static. These are the same people who think a comment section is a classroom. You could give them a book and they'd ask where the play button is. We live in a world where people argue louder when they know less. The less they understand, the bigger their volume knob. You ever try to debate someone who's confident but clueless? It's like fighting smoke. They disappear the second logic shows up. They'll say something like, "That's just your opinion," right after you quote math. Math. You can't have an opinion about math. 2 plus 2 doesn't care what you believe. It's not running for office. And somehow this nonsense gets rewarded. Companies love it, governments feed on it, and the public keeps buying it. We've built an entire economy on confusion. People don't even want solutions anymore. They want slogans. They want short, catchy lies that rhyme. I buy more, feel better. Work hard, die happy. They sell you the dream and bill you monthly for the nightmare. Every ad on TV is a fairy tale for adults. Drink this and you'll be attractive. Wear this and you'll be confident. Drive this and people will finally tolerate your personality. Nobody just sells you soap anymore. It's a cleansing experience. What's that? You're just washing your armpits, not achieving enlightenment. They turn hygiene into a religion. People walk into the store like they're joining a cult. "Excuse me, where's the section for spiritual deodorant?" And don't even get me started on the food. We've got boxes that scream organic, a natural, a farm fresh. Farm fresh? Really? What farm? The one next to the freeway? They slap a picture of a barn on the box, and everyone thinks their chips were raised in a loving home. And the natural, everything's natural. Cyanide is natural. You want natural? Go lick a rock. The best part is how people brag about their nonsense like it's an achievement. They'll say, "I don't watch the news, it's all fake." Okay, genius, but your horoscope is real? People will believe a magazine that tells them in a day you'll find love near water, but not a scientist who says, "It's rainy. It's a miracle we've made it this far." We used to look for truth, now we just look for comfort. The truth hurts, so people avoid it like the gym. They prefer a lie that hugs them. And companies figured that out. They sell comfort disguised as choice. Pick your plan, or choose your package, customize your cage. You think you're making decisions, but the menu's already rigged. It's like a magic trick. You pick any card you want, but the deck's all the same, and the audience loves it. People love being lied to, as long as the lie sounds polite. We value your opinion. No, you don't. Your call is important to us. Oh, is that why you left me on hold long enough to question the meaning of life? We've been so trained to accept nonsense that we even thank people for wasting our time. Thank you for your patience. Don't thank me. I didn't volunteer for this hostage situation. You notice nobody wants to be wrong anymore. Nobody. You could show someone proof, evidence, photos, video, a signed confession, and they'll say, "Well, that's just your perspective." No, it's not. That's reality. You're just allergic to it. People don't care what's true. They care what's comfortable. You could tell them the sun's hot and they'd say, "That's your opinion. I like Mind Warm. We've managed to turn stupidity into a team sport. It's not enough to be wrong. Now people want a uniform, a logo, a flag for it. We are proud of our ignorance. Well, congratulations, you've turned common sense into an endangered species. We should put it on the back of a milk carton. Have you seen me last spotted in 1983? You ever talk to someone who's proud of not reading? I don't read books, they're boring. Yeah, well, so is your conversation. People used to want to sound smart. Now they just want to sound loud. They don't want to understand, they just want to win. And winning doesn't even mean being right anymore. It just means being first to comment. That's the modern mind, overfed on noise, starving for thought. We've got access to every piece of information ever recorded, and people use it to argue about movie sequels. You could have Socrates, Einstein, and Shakespeare in one chat room, and someone would still type a first. And they'd be proud of it. That's how far we've fallen. And all this nonsense comes from one simple truth. People stop thinking. Thinking is work, and work is exhausting. People want convenience, not clarity. They want shortcuts to understanding. They want to skip the page and get to the conclusion. That's why we've got self-help books that say, think positive. Positive about what? If your car won't start, smiling at it won't help. But people buy it. They love optimism because it sounds easier than effort. The whole world's addicted to easy. Easy food, easy money, easy answers. Nobody wants to dig anymore. We used to have curiosity. Now we have convenience. Curiosity is messy. You might find something uncomfortable. Convenience never challenges you. It just pats you on the head and says, "You're fine, go back to sleep." And sleep they do. People sleepwalk through life with their eyes wide open. You can see them in traffic, glassy-eyed, drooling into their coffee, waiting for a green light to tell them what to do next. They follow signs, instructions, slogans, trends. You could replace half the population with cardboard cutouts and nobody would notice. Except the cutouts would probably ask fewer dumb questions. Everyone's obsessed with it being normal. You ever hear that? I just want to fit in. Fit into what? A line? A pattern? A box? You're not supposed to fit in. You're supposed to be in. But people are terrified of standing out because that requires thought. It's easier to just copy what everyone else is doing. He's got a phone like that, I want one too. She said that online, I'll say it too. It's like society turned into a giant echo chamber and everyone's yelling the same nonsense louder and louder, hoping it'll sound like wisdom. And that's why we celebrate stupidity now. You don't get famous for being smart. You get famous for being noticeable. Doesn't matter what you do. As long as people look, we used to have heroes, now we have influencers. Influencing what? Influence the art of pretending to care? You see them on TV. Hey guys, just wanted to share my morning routine. Nobody asks. We're surrounded by people who confuse attention with accomplishment. Meanwhile, the ones with real knowledge are quiet, thinking, observing, but nobody listens because they don't shout. The world doesn't want thinkers. It wants cheerleaders for nonsense. People who'll clap for slogans and boo for facts. It's easier to digest a catchphrase than a concept. That's why truth has a hard time getting booked these days. It doesn't test well with audiences. We've even managed to make stupidity fashionable. You see it in how people talk. Every conversation is a competition for who can say the least while sounding the most confident. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Let's agree to disagree. That's not conversation. That's a word salad with no dressing. And we invented awards for everything. People get trophies for showing up, ribbons for breathing, certificates for not crying during lunch. No wonder everyone's proud of nonsense. They've been rewarded for mediocrity since kindergarten. You did your best. No, you didn't. You glued macaroni to paper and called it art. We tell kids they're special just for existing, then act shocked when they grow up entitled. Nobody told them reality doesn't clap. Out here, nobody gives you a gold star for effort. Just a bill for trying. But we keep feeding the illusion because it feels nice. We don't want kids to fail, but failure's where the wisdom is. You learn more from falling than from being carried. But no, we bubble wrap their brains and call it love. And then those bubble wrap brains grow up to run the world, terrified of criticism, allergic to reality, and addicted to applause. You can't tell them anything. They already know it all. Don't correct me, they say. Don't worry, you're doing fine crashing on your own. Every generation thinks it's the smartest one, but have you noticed every generation also thinks the world's ending? Maybe that's not intelligence. Maybe that's ego. People love thinking they're living in the most important time. Newsflash. Every time is important if you're paying attention. The only difference now is the nonsense is louder, shinier, and delivered in high definition. And people buy it. They treat nonsense like a buffet. Oh, I'll take a little superstition, a scoop of gossip, and extra denial, please. It's not that we don't know the truth. We just don't want to chew it. It's too tough, not sweet enough, and it doesn't go down easy. So we drown it in entertainment and swallow with a smile. And look, I get it. Life's confusing, scary, overwhelming. But instead of learning how to deal with it, people just decorate the confusion. They put motivational quotes on it. Everything happens for a reason. Yeah, sometimes the reason is you made a stupid choice. But nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear it's the universe's plan. The universe doesn't have a plan for you. It's got asteroids, black holes, and cosmic radiation. You think it's sitting around scheduling your parking tickets? Common sense used to be a tool. Now it's a conspiracy theory. You say something obvious like, hey, maybe we should think before we act. And people treat you like you're Nostradamus. They'll say, wow, deep? No, not deep. Just awake. People have mistaken convenience for progress. We think because things got easier, we got smarter. No, the machines got smarter. We just got lazier. You ever see someone panic because their gadget stops working? They act like the universe betrayed them. My phone froze. Well, maybe it's just tired of you. And through it all, everyone's convinced they're doing great. I'm just being myself. Yeah, that's the problem. Maybe try being someone with a clue. People use authenticity as an excuse for never improving. I'm just speaking my truth. Great, now try learning the truth. I've been expecting this all day. Your data may be at risk. Translation. We already sold it. We've reached a point where nobody trusts language anymore, and for good reason. Every word's been polished, twisted, repackaged, and resold until it barely means anything. Words used to reveal truth. Now they disguise it. They don't open your eyes. They fog them up. We speak in riddles because we're afraid of the silence that comes after a real statement. But the funny thing is, deep down, people still know the truth. You can call a lie a narrative. You can call corruption a policy. You can call stupidity a bold perspective, but the smell always gives it away. You can perfume a garbage can, but it's still full of trash. That's the beauty and the tragedy of language. It's the one thing humans invented to tell the truth, and the first thing they used to lie. And the moment you realize that, that's when you stop listening to the words and start paying attention to what's underneath them. Because underneath all the noise, all the euphemisms, and all the polished performances, the truth is still there, quietly waiting for someone brave enough to say it out loud. You know what keeps people sane in this circus we call civilization? Laughter. It's the last honest medicine left that doesn't come with a prescription label or a commercial in between your favorite shows. You can't overdose on it, you can't fake it for long, and it's the only thing left that makes sense in a world built on nonsense. Because let's face it, if you look around long enough, you either gotta laugh or start screaming. And screaming doesn't sell tickets. We're surrounded by absurdity. Every single day, life hands you a brand new pile of ridiculousness, and people act like it's normal. You ever wake up, look at the news, and think, oh good, the world's still stupid. It's like a rerun that never ends. We've got people arguing about everything, advertising trying to sell you happiness in a bottle. Politicians making promises like kids writing letters to Santa. And everyone's taking it seriously. The whole planet's a comedy club, but most folks don't realize they're part of the act. That's where laughter comes in. It's the great escape hatch from the asylum. You don't fix insanity by fighting it. You fix it by noticing it and laughing so hard it loses its power over you. That's the secret. You don't beat the madness, you outlaugh it. Because if you can laugh at something, you're no longer afraid of it. You've already won. You ever notice how people take everything too seriously now? They treat every little inconvenience like it's a personal attack from the universe. The coffee's cold tragedy. The Wi-Fi's slow, crisis. Somebody disagrees with them, apocalypse. People have forgotten that life is supposed to be funny, supposed to be unpredictable, messy, ironic. You're not supposed to have it all figured out. You're supposed to trip over it, laugh, and keep walking. We used to know how to do that. People used to have thicker skin and better jokes. Now everyone's walking around like a human complaint department. I'm offended. Great. You found a feeling. Now what? People treat offense like a trophy. They collect it. Look at all the things that upset me today. Well, congratulations, you've discovered life. It's uncomfortable. That's the point. The world doesn't bend for your feelings. It barely bends for gravity. Laughter used to be rebellion. You laughed to survive. You laughed because the world didn't make sense and nobody could explain it. It was a way to take your power back. You could look at all the nonsense, the fake smiles, the empty speeches, the made-up words, and say, I see the game. But people don't laugh at the right things anymore. They laugh at other people's pain, not at their own foolishness. Comedy used to be a mirror. Now it's a dartboard. Everyone wants to throw something, but no one wants to be hit. That's why everyone's so tense. They forgot how to laugh at themselves. You're supposed to trip, spill your drink, and go, well, I needed that exercise anyway. Not sue the restaurant for emotional damage. You can tell how smart a person is by what they laugh at. Some people laugh down at others. Smart people laugh around at life, the wise. They laugh up at the system because they see the strings, they see how silly it all is. How humans invented stress, clocks, money, rules, hierarchies, and then complained about them. Imagine being the species that creates problems for itself and then holds conferences about how to fix them. That's comedy gold right there. And have you ever noticed that the people in charge never laugh? They smile, sure, but it's not the same. It's that tight, big smile that says, I've never heard a real joke in my life. You can't lead people if you can't laugh at them and yourself. You need a sense of humor to deal with the human race. We're an entire species that invented mirrors and still can't see ourselves clearly. We worship the wrong things, fear the wrong things, complain about the wrong things, and then wonder why we're miserable. It's because nobody's laughing. Laughter is like a reset button for your brain. You ever laugh so hard you forget what you were mad about? That's your body rebooting you. That's nature saying, hey, maybe don't take everything so damn seriously. But humans, oh no, we insist. We turn molehills into mountains and build theme parks on top. Every day is a comedy sketch if you pay attention. You ever been to a grocery store on a Sunday? It's a war zone of carts and confusion. People blocking aisles like they're guarding a secret. The same people who can't decide which brand of pasta to buy have strong opinions about how to fix the economy. You just stand there thinking, yeah, this species is definitely going places. Then there's technology, our proudest achievement and our biggest joke. People talk to machines more than they talk to each other. We invented devices to connect us. And now everyone's isolated. Folks don't even look at sunsets anymore. They photograph them, filter them, and forget to feel them. The whole planet's a slideshow. Nobody's actually present for. And when it breaks, oh boy, the panic. You ever see someone lose their phone? They turn into an archaeologist trying to find purpose again. Whoa, really? Your life fits in your pocket? That's not a life, that's storage. That's why laughter's so important. It's the last real thing we have. You can't fake a belly laugh. You can fake a smile, fake an apology, fake your personality on a resume, but you can't fake genuine laughter. It's truth escaping. It's your soul peeking through the nonsense saying, there you are. The funniest people aren't the ones telling jokes. They're the ones who see the absurdity hiding in plain sight. They notice the irony in everything. Like motivational speakers sell books about not needing validation. Or people who spend thousands on a minimalist living. The irony's everywhere, and it's hilarious if you've got the stomach to notice it. Laughter keeps you sane because it reminds you that you're not in control. And that's okay. Life's a game with no rule book and no guarantee you'll even finish the tutorial. You plan, you hope, you dream, and then the universe trips you on purpose just to see if you'll laugh or cry. And the funny thing is, it's usually the same people who cry the hardest that end up laughing the loudest later. Because once you've seen how silly it all is, you can't take it seriously anymore. The biggest laughs always come from the biggest truths. You can't laugh about something you don't recognize deep down. That's why humor hits you in the gut. It's honesty disguised as joy. It sneaks past your defenses and says, hey, maybe you're part of the joke too. And that's beautiful. Because once you realize you're part of the joke, you stop trying to be the punchline. You just enjoy the setup. People ask, how can you laugh at serious things? Easy, because serious things are the most ridiculous. The whole idea that we're supposed to control everything, plan everything, be important, be remembered, that's comedy. You're a tiny organism spinning on a rock in space, and you think you can manifest your destiny. You can't even find your keys. You've got people burning themselves out trying to make their marker, buddy. Your mark's gonna be dust. Relax. Enjoy the ride. We spend our whole lives building an image, an identity, a story we tell ourselves about who we are. But the second life throws a curveball, the story falls apart. And that's when people panic, because they were too busy performing to realize the show was optional. That's why laughter's freedom. When you can laugh at yourself, nothing owns you anymore. Not failure, not other people's opinions. You've disarmed the whole system. You know what laughter really is? It's perspective.